Hi everyone, my name is Laura and I am the program specialist at Girl Scouts of Central Maryland, and today I will be walking you through the Ambassador Photographer Badge. The first thing that we want to do is to explore photography. So you can look at a professional photographer's portfolio and study their style, or you can explore new photographers that take pictures of things that interest you, whether that's portraits or wedding photos or wildlife or landscapes. You can also look into the history of camera and photography and make a timeline. Figure out what questions you have and go looking for those answers. Once you have done some research on a topic that you want to know more about, the next step is to get out and take some pictures. So you can do this outside or you can find some subjects inside your house. First, we will be focusing on composition, so the colors and textures within an image, the main focus of the foreground and the background, and the way your eye moves across an image. I chose to photograph some plants and trees in my front yard. My phone has a grid feature when you take photos, and you can use that to center your photo, or you can use the lines to create the thirds rule within your image. So now let's go take some photos. In this first image, you can see a lot is going on in the background that is a bit distracting. But if I change the angle of the photo, I can change that. There is much more sky in the background of this image, but my eye is still drawn towards the little bit of the house in the bottom right corner. Here we have all tree, sky, and clouds. The vibrant blue of the sky and white clouds complements the pink and green of the flower petals. This image shows a bit more of the tree branches and accentuates the contrast of the light and bright flower petals and the darker tree branches, and the blue sky acts as a nice backdrop. Next, I wanted to focus on more individual flowers. The main flower is in better focus and much clearer here. With a phone camera, you can simply touch your phone screen where you want the focus to be, and it can autofocus. The petals in the back tend to blur together as you focus more on the closer petals. My phone has a portrait mode that focuses on a main subject and then completely blurs the background. Here we have a couple of flowers in focus and the rest of the image is blurred. With the same portrait mode, you have the flowers and branches in focus, and the background branches and sky becomes blurred. I also wanted to showcase the tree bark and get a better look at the texture of the tree with the flowers in the background. I also wanted to showcase the moss growing on the tree bark and how that adds another layer of textures and colors. I love this small patch of growth within the tree trunk, and I like how the image combines the texture of the tree and some moss with the vibrant green and purple flowers. In this image, we have a lot of things to look at in the background that distract from the tree. It is also difficult to see the texture of the leaves. Here we have some contrast in the background, but you are able to clearly see the tree leaves and their texture, and the background is not quite as busy. As we pivot around the tree, we have a much more calm background that is mainly green and creates a nice contrast with the dark red leaves. This first image is from a bit of a distance, and so you just see the bush, but you don't see any texture and have a bit of distraction from the mulch on the ground and the brick in the background. This image is much closer to the bush so that you can see the individual leaves and flower buds. Most of these have not yet bloomed, but add a bit of a different texture. This image has a bit more color with some pops of red from some of the buds. And here we have a focus on a small bud in the middle of the image. Our next focus in taking pictures is light. You can do this with natural light and how an image may change when you photograph the same object at different times of the day. Or you can use artificial light to get the effect that you want. I decided to use artificial light to enhance the brightness and photographed some houseplants. This image is with just the natural light from the window that is mainly to the right side of the image. You can see that this caused a slight reflection on the glass bowl and has created a large shadow on the left side of the object. Then I added a light on the right side of the image. This allowed for the object to be brightened and the colors more vibrant, but also created a darker shadow to the left of the image. Then I added another light to the left side of the image. This helped to brighten the overall image and lighten the shadows. The full light helps to accentuate the full spectrum of colors and brightness within this image. And the white background keeps it distraction-free and emphasizes all of the different colors. Our final focus is to photograph motion. You want to have at least 5 different photos of an object showing motion. I decided to photograph a waving flag because I think it can create some really neat visuals. tried to take a lot of pictures quickly to capture the different twists and waves the flag made and approaching from different angles to get the best images. The folds and wrinkles in the flag represent movement and wind, and no two images were exactly the same. I think the background gives a bit of context as to where the flag is and that it is not just a flag in the sky. The final step is to tell a story with your photos. So you use your new skills to create a photographic story that means something to you and share it with your friends and family and your Girl Scout community. We at Girl Scouts of Central Maryland would love to see your creations, so you can send those to us either in the comments below or you can send us an email. We would love to see all of the things that you create. And don't let your creativity stop here. Be sure to continue practicing your photography skills after this. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!